Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. We're here to empower women who value their health, wealth, and the legacies they're creating. This podcast delves into a diverse range of subjects encompassing finance, law, mental and physical health, and beyond. Our commitment is to furnish you with invaluable insights, engaging expert interviews, and enlightening episodes that address your questions on wills, estate planning, and probate matters. Remember, this is your community, and we want to hear from you. Engage with us, ask questions, suggest topics. Let's build a dialogue. Reach out to us on social media or leave us a comment below. Your input fuels the conversations we have. You can find all of our episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our upcoming content. We appreciate your support, and if you enjoy the podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Your review helps amplify our reach and brings our content to more listeners. And now, on with the podcast. Imagine waking up tomorrow after an accident or sudden illness, unable to speak for yourself or communicate your wishes. Who would make decisions for you? Would your loved ones know what you wanted? More importantly, would they even have the legal authority to act? Many people believe estate planning is something they can always get around to later. But the truth is, there comes a point when later may no longer be an option. Hi, everybody. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney, and the host of the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. At the law offices of Elsa W. Smith, our mission is to empower women through estate planning. Today's episode explores one of the biggest misconceptions about estate planning, that you can wait until life settles down before putting your plan in place. We'll begin by discussing why legal capacity is essential to creating a valid estate plan. Then, we'll explore one of the most important incapacity planning documents every adult should consider, the Advance Directive. Portions of today's episode were originally recorded as educational videos and have been adapted for today's podcast conversation. Now, many of us know the law requires us to be of sound mind, but why is it important? This issue came up during a fairly recent consultation. What we were talking about, and I essentially told this person that if you are no longer aware of your surroundings and can't make decisions for yourself, it's a little too late to then sit down and start planning your estate plan. When you're drafting your estate plan, it's essential for you to be of sound mind. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. Number 1, the capacity to understand. Being of sound mind ensures that you have the mental capacity to understand the nature and consequences of creating a will or any other estate planning document. You'll need to comprehend the value and the extent of the property that you are dealing with, and the choices that you're making as to who you're giving certain gifts to, how much, and why. Number 2, being free of undue influence. Being of sound mind ensures that you are not unduly influenced or coerced by others while making decisions regarding your estate plan. You should be able to make independent choices based on your own wishes, free from any pressure or manipulation. And then 3, legal validity. An estate planning document, a will, for example, who is written by someone who is not of sound mind may be challenged in court on the grounds of lack of testamentary capacity. If it is determined that you did not have the mental capacity to understand your decisions at the time you were drafting a particular document, let's say a will, the document could be considered invalid. So again, I tell you, the time to plan is not when you're in crisis, and it is not when you're already too far gone in cognitive decline. I hate to be so blunt, but I need to be, because some people obviously are not getting the message. One thing I hope you took away from that conversation is this: estate planning has a deadline that none of us can predict. It isn't based on your age. It isn't based on retirement. It's based on your legal capacity to make informed decisions. Once that capacity is gone, many of the planning tools people assume they'll always have available may no longer be an option. But planning ahead isn't only about preparing a will or trust. It's also about making sure someone you trust can step in if you're ever unable to speak for yourself. Losing capacity affects much more than your estate. It affects who can communicate with your doctors, who can make medical decisions, who can advocate for your wishes, and who can provide guidance during one of life's most difficult moments. That's where one of the most important estate planning documents comes into play, the advance directive. Let's take a closer look. Let's break it down into 3 aspects. Aspect number 1 is naming your healthcare agent. The first aspect of the advance directive allows you to name your healthcare agent. And that's someone you trust, underline, bold, to make medical decisions on your behalf if you're unable to do so. So this person ensures that your healthcare wishes are respected during a temporary illness or long-term incapacity. Choosing a trusted individual who understands and will advocate for your values is crucial to making this document effective. The second aspect is known as the living will. This is where you detailed your preferences for medical treatment. This includes decisions about life-sustaining measures such as CPR, ventilators, or feeding tubes. Whether you want every possible measure taken or prefer comfort-focused care. The living will ensures that your loved ones and medical providers are clear on your wishes, reducing uncertainty and stress. And the third aspect is when the advance directive becomes effective. It can either become effective immediately, subject to your ability to make your own decisions, or it can become effective subject to doctors certifying that you are unable to make your decisions. Now, an advance directive is an essential part of protecting your voice, your values, and your loved ones from difficult and unplanned situations. After nearly 3 decades of practicing law, one thing I've learned is that most people don't delay estate planning because they don't care. They delay it because they believe they'll have more time after retirement, more time when life slows down, more time when the children are older. Unfortunately, life doesn't always wait for us. The best time to create your estate plan is while you still have every option available to you, not during a crisis, but long before one ever occurs. Today's episode reminds us that estate planning isn't just about preparing for death. It's about protecting your life, your voice, and your ability to make decisions while you still can. The truth is, none of us can predict an illness, an accident, or an unexpected medical emergency. but we can decide today who will speak for us, what matters most to us, and how we want those decisions to be made. Too often, families wait until they're already in the middle of a crisis before they begin asking these important questions. By then, the options may be limited. Planning ahead gives you something incredibly valuable. It gives you peace of mind. It gives your loved ones clarity instead of uncertainty. And perhaps most importantly, it allows your own voice, not someone else's assumptions, to guide the decisions that may one day need to be made on your behalf. One of the greatest gifts you can give the people you love is the confidence of knowing they're carrying out your wishes, not guessing what you would have wanted. If today's conversation encouraged you to think differently about your own estate plan, I invite you to take the next step. If you live in Maryland or the District of Columbia and you are ready to create a plan that's tailored to your needs, connect with the law offices of Elsa W. Smith using the link in today's show notes. We're here to guide you through the process with clarity, compassion, and expertise. Because you deserve a plan that protects the life you've built and honors the legacy you're creating. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and take control of your legacy. Remember, estate planning is self-care.